What is up, you guys? We are
The Pleasures! And we are so excited. May 12th, we're playing at Crazy Uncle Mike's, 5 to 7:30. We are playing for an amazing cause, caps off for a cause. It is to help graduating students get to their next level, and we are so excited. What are we going to be playing, Steve?
Hits from 70s, 80s, 90s, and today.
Ooh, I love that. What do you play?
I'm Steve. I play the bass.
I'm Ben. I play the drums.
I'm Kara. I sing.
I'm Mark. I play guitar.
And I'm Guller on the keys.
Guys,
That's
we're going
right.
to rock the stage. We're so excited to have you guys. May 12th, 5 to 7:30, Crazy Uncle Mike's.
Come on down.
We'll see you there. The Pleasures!
It's lunchtime and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from the Amp Media Studios, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in toll free 888-994-4995, Studio A right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
Welcome to the Hump Day Special.
Happy Wednesday to you.
Happy Wednesday to you.
Wow, what a day.
Had me working very early this morning.
I've been working, I know we've been working a lot this
telling
morning.
you,
Blah,
this-
blah, 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 blah. I can't
Blah.
even speak. Blah,
I'm
blah,
done.
blah.
Time to go home and get a burger. I gotta tell you, we have a treat for you today. So stand tight with us. It's a double header. In baseball, that's 2 games.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, so you're gonna enjoy this today.
All right, so that was the Pleasures that opened up today's show, and they were going to be joining us at Crazy Uncle Mike's on Tuesday, May 12th. Yes, less than a week away. Tuesday, May 12th, 5 to 7:30. Crazy Uncle Mike's coming out and support the Amp Media Futures Foundation. Get a drink, have some light bites, some great raffle items. We've got, I'm going to let Wendy talk about it later, but it's like a grid that's for voice and
vibrations.
Voice and vibrations, and she's bringing some others. Dana's doing some great gift baskets of the Ubuntu girls. We've got some incredible gift cards that Charlotte Lustig has just brought in from restaurants around our community, different great activities. So those are going to be for raffle items. We may have the Boys and Girls Club join us. We've got John Justice Parker, Creeper Jr., 561 Music, and a great event to celebrate our crew and the interns. Some have already graduated that aren't going to be able to be there, but we've got some that will be there. Brooklyn's going to be there, Heather and Jalen and Max and who else? Andrew.
Well, we're gonna
Patricia, I hope.
We're gonna have the raffles for the car. She texted me yesterday. She's gonna bring them down on Monday.
Okay.
So the raffles will be out there.
You said it's for an Audi.
It's for
right?
an Audi, a brand new Audi, yes. And we do it every year, but this raffle gets pulled in December, where you can buy all these tickets for new cars. The only person that won something of place in here was Gato.
He won the cruise.
He won the cruise, right? So.
And Karen won last year, 2 years ago as well.
Karen won. Oh yeah, Karen won a cruise also.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's real, and we're gonna be. And I know I sound like a broken record, but listen, you help us out. The donations are coming in. Appreciate you. I'm gonna be a broken record from here to Tuesday anyway, because we appreciate all the love you're showing. The kids need your help, and I'm just going to be the one to say, I need your help. Help us out. Give love a chance. Come on down with us, or donate, or send something, or something for something. We'll acknowledge you. Linda says I have to make sure I acknowledge people for helping us out, so we have to do that. Don't just nod. Say something.
Fabulous.
Okay.
Yes. Wonderful. Fabulous.
So come on down. At 5 o'clock, you saw the message from
The Pleasures.
that was really cool. That they
And
did
check
that.
out their bagel place. It is 2nd Street Bagels in Delhi, right on the south side of Meisner Park. They're opening a second location right up on north of Yamato and Federal. Sometime over the summer, there's going to be a stage, so much room for us to do a midday show there. They've always been huge supporters of the studio, of Amp Media Production, the crew. They love what the crew does, so a huge thank you to them. They do catering for anything that you need. Just call them, reach out to Diane, brunch, lunch. They do all of my holidays, so they do everything.
You got the cue. So Bramers, thank you very much.
Bramer, Sinful Crepes, Sushi Bang Bang, Movies of Del Rey, Silver Ball, Pinball Museum, and I don't want to forget anything. I don't have the list in front of me, but so many great areas have donated gift cards for the studio. So huge thank you. We have lots of thank yous to send out and to call people of. Yeah. A lot of thank yous, pre-thank yous to do. All right, so we're going to get right into today's show. We have a great guest. Oh my gosh, Ann Marie Skordy was here with Dana Sardano a few months ago for After Hours, but we have not had the pleasure of airing the show on the midday show for you to meet Ann Marie. Ann Marie came in and did some cleaning spiritually of the studio a few weeks ago, and what a super great gift to be able to have her here fit personally. And next time, hopefully Carol will begin, because that's her partner. They work together, they clear spaces, they clear energy. I don't want to misinterpret how they do it, so we're just going to let you meet Ann Marie on the other side of this commercial break. More to come. Check it out. Dana, Ann, Wendy, Lorena. We're talking about energy clearing and healing.
Let's do it.
We'll be right back.
Finding the world's best coffee. Nothing can stop Don Pablo from getting you the rarest coffees. Traveling across continents, climbing the highest mountains, overcoming immense obstacles, all for the quest of greatness. Experience this excitement with every sip.
Discover Rosie's Garden. The collection draws inspiration from the beautiful niece of the founder, Rosie, who brought joy to many before passing too soon. Her beauty and spirit are reflected in every piece. Founded by two friends, Rosie's Garden is a female-owned brand passionate about creating stunning, elegant jewelry that embodies the concept of bellissima, the Italian word for beautiful. With a philosophy rooted in grace and elegance, the brand crafts each piece of jewelry using only the finest materials, including 18-karat gold and the highest quality craftsmanship, ensuring that every piece is a true work of art.
Looking for a night out that actually gives back? AMP Media Futures Foundation presents Caps Off for a Cause. Join us at Crazy Uncle Mike's. Enjoy drinks, light bites, live entertainment, and real connection. May 12th, 5 to 7:30 p.m. Tickets are just $36 donation. Spots are limited, so grab yours now. Sponsor opportunities are available.
Looking for music that brings back the memories? True Oldies FLA is South Florida's premier destination for timeless hits from the 1960s, 70s, and 80s. Brought to you by M2 TV Network. Broadcasting across multiple FM and HD stations, including 95.3 FM in Delray Beach and Boca Raton, 95.9 FM in Palm Beach County, 96.9 FM in Broward County and North Miami-Dade, and 106.9 FM on the Treasure Coast. True Oldies, FLA. Feel good music that spans generations.
You're listening to the Midday Brooklyn Cafe Show with Dawn and Freddie S. Every weekday from 12 to 2, tune in for the ultimate midday escape. The perfect blend of entertainment, culture, and community, all served up with a side of Brooklyn flair. It's the South Florida show that everyone's talking about.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
All right, welcome to this special segment. What do you want to call it?
Special edition. I don't know. I think the angels have risen. The angels have landed. I don't know what we're going to call it. I don't know what angels do. They rise. They're already up there. So
wow.
they've landed back in the portal, as they say.
Wow.
You know, every Wednesday we have Dana Sardano here with us with the Ubuntu Room Book Club, and we're going to be having that a little bit later. But we have Ann Marie Skordy joining us today for a special edition. She's never been on the midday show. She did After Hours with us one night with Dana, and it was so unbelievable that people are like, oh my God, I got to reach out to Ann Marie, and my ears are still going womp womp, so excuse my imbalance. And she said she could come up today on her way doing some things. We're like, all right, let's do this and bring her in. I don't know where we're going with this, but it seems like the angels, the energies know. As we were getting ready for Tuesday, for the Amp Media Futures Foundation, Caps Off for a Cause at Crazy Uncle Mike's. Dana is the MC, and all of our friends that are here today are going to be there tonight. Big thank you to Charlotte Lustig, who has been out pounding the pavement, getting some great gift cards for the event. So a huge thank you to some of our old sponsors and restaurants that we've visited, and Movies of Delray and Bramer's and Sinful Crepes and all the places that you've seen us around town the past year. So thank you for all of that. And then some new friends, Pinball Museum and Zoo Gym. I think they gave us some stuff last year as well. So a lot of good things happening. We've got Wendy submitted a portal. We've got Socially Funded submitted, donated, a lot of great things. But, you know, we can't have an event without some angelic protection, in my realm anyway. So we've got Ann Marie Skordy joining us and Dana Sardano. Dana, I'm going to let you do the introductions because you guys bring a whole nother level of energy here. Like, I was like, whoa, guys, wait, stop, 1 second.
I know, I got yelled at. Donna's trying to get everything together to get started, and I'm like, woo!
There we go.
And they all showed up on the same bus because they all came in at the same time.
Yeah. So I'm here with my very dear friend Ann Marie Skordy, and off camera right now is our very dear friend Wendy Becerra. And I don't want to forget Lorena. Lorena's here as well. But
they're on camera. They just have a different camera.
Okay, well, they're not on the camera.
They will be, right.
Yeah. So Wendy and Ann Marie and myself, we got together. Oh God, we're going back now. It's like 8 years. We met at a retreat that I had on my property. I met Ann Marie just before that. Wendy flew in under the radar, and we have been creating, we'll just call it magic ever since. But Ann Marie happened to be in town today, so we all congregated to see Ann Marie. So everybody's a little nervous. She's like, oh my God, we're on camera, what do we do? But I just have to say that Ann Marie is one of the most gifted people that I've ever met. She's a trance channel, which means, you want to share, or do you want me to be your mouthpiece? Are you sure?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, which means she puts her consciousness aside and allows the beings from the higher realms, from the angelic realms, and those that they bring forth, right? I've read your bio enough times to speak through her. And it's a really, really cool thing, because now that things are shifting so much in the world, there's a lot of people who channel. And we all channel to some degree because we are connecting with something higher than ourselves. When I paint, I channel. But I have never seen anybody do it in the way that Ann Marie does it. And it is, I see out of the corner of my eye, I see Lorena nodding because she's had one-on-one with Ann Marie. It really is an incredible experience, and she's such a beautiful person and such a humble person. But I do want to talk to you a little bit about what was that like for you when you first figured out you could do this?
Oh my God, it was nuts. So how it transpired essentially was I was told by a psychic that I had blocks, and so I needed to remove the blocks. And I'm like, well, how do you do that? And she's like, you need to meditate. And I'm like, well, how do you do that? You know, so I was not on any type of spiritual path. I was rocking my own world. I had no interest. So anyhow, she's like, you got to meditate. I'm like, how do you do that? And she's like, you just have to sit quietly and clear your mind. That's all you got to do. It's very easy. I'm like, oh, okay, I can do that. So I went in my closet and I shut the door and I sat down and I tried to clear my mind, and it was going all over the place. And so I'm like, shoot, what am I going to do here? So I remembered this movie with Tina Turner in it, and when she meditated, she said Om. So I'm like, I'll give it a whirl. So that's what happened. I went in and I sat down again and I did Om, and I could hear in my ears the vibration, and then all of a sudden I could feel this presence, and I heard, let go of the things that weigh you down. And I could see myself holding a balloon, and there were 3 balloons. One was my husband, one was my father, and one was my tenant. And my hand went like this, and they floated away, and I felt it. And I'm like, holy crap, this is nuts! So I'm like, no wonder people do this, right? So I thought everybody had the same experience. So anyway, fast forwarding, turns out not everybody does. And when I started to talk to people who meditated about that, they're looking at me like I got 15 heads, and I'm like, oh my God. So I just shut up and I stopped telling anybody anything. And so for years, I was getting messages and I was doing automatic writing, never telling anybody what was going on, thinking I'm going crazy, you know. I was, honest to God, thinking I was nuts. So anyhow, fast forward a few years, I met somebody who saw me meditating and asked me, what happens to you? And for whatever reason, I told him, I hear this voice that isn't the voice, and it guides me and it gives me great advice. And he's like, you're a channel. And I'm like, what's that? And he's like, I have someone you need to meet. Fast forward, I did my first session with a trance channel, which freaked me out. I'm like, what the heck is that? And then I was activated one day doing a session. They're like, you can do what she does. And this insane sound vibration came out of my mouth involuntarily. And they're like, you're on. Start doing sessions with your friends and family, start practicing. And so that's how it started for me. And it was awful, awful, awful. I was so embarrassed because it was so freaky. And when I tried to go to kind of peddle myself at a metaphysical shop to see if I could start doing sessions, the girl saw what I did and she like ran. I'm like, if I don't belong in a metaphysical shop, where do I belong?
I'm a weirdo here.
So, I mean, but I just kept on. I went to somebody else who had a yoga studio and a salt room, and she was like, I love this. I want you to do a thing here. Somebody else, same thing, I want you to do a group. So I eventually found the people, but I was always very self-conscious about the way it happens for me. And I didn't even believe in angels. I thought they were fictional things. So it was really a lot for me to have to accept and come to terms with and realize that it's nothing about religion. They are beings of assistance and they are society of love. And that's all they are. And my associations with it was from my past growing up and all that stuff. So anyhow, so it was very difficult for me. And it's been a challenge, you know, for me over the years.
But you were here with us
finally good
a couple months ago, and we did an after hours, and you did a channeling of the studio because we didn't even know what to ask you.
Right.
And all of a sudden you're like, oh, we are here, and all of this unbelievable information. And then last week, about 2 weeks ago, we asked you to do a cleaning of the studio because things got a little stagnant. And some people would say that's the status quo, leave it alone. Like you did, I did ask you, and you said, do what you want to do. If you had said no, we would not have done it because you've said no before over the past years, and people wanted to grid and do, and you're like, no, leave everything the way it is. But he said, okay, which means, okay. And you found some stuff in here.
They went like this.
Yeah.
The whole place turned upside down.
Yeah, so it got a little wonky, and it didn't just take 24 hours.
I found myself on the floor.
There was literally cleaning up the BS from the bathroom after we cleaned this stuff, and I was like, and Wendy's like, don't worry, it's like the Ghostbusters, it's all just settling, it's more stuff to clean. But yet there was more, and there was more. So I need to ask you.
And there was more.
Where are we now?
At this juncture?
At this juncture.
We are working continuously. Your space here, it is completely and utterly isolated from what else is out there trying to intervene with people's peace and with their tranquility, and there is so much chaos that is still outside of your parameters and perimeters. This space is completely and utterly sanctified, and it is done with all of the fluctuations in the energetic resurgence and its energetic reconfiguration that was necessary in order to reestablish a foundation of neutrality based on your composite of energies. Now, it is growing from the truth of who all of you are, and your combined influence on this space in particular will cause this immense energetic, collaborative configuration to become its own living, breathing. We don't want to scare people. An entity of love. It is not an entity of evil. It is an entity of love. It is not an entity of fear. It is an entity of this collective objective to lift each and every individual, starting with oneself, that will bring this into its full fruition. Does that make sense?
Amen.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's
Because it was definitely a roller coaster, and literally, I think Wendy told me it's like the Ghostbusters, what happened here, and then I think Dana, or you
I
called
said
me
the
the same
same
thing.
thing,
Like
right?
literally, I think she texted me and you called me last Wednesday at the same time.
No.
But it wasn't
we
like-
used the same
Yes.
the same vocabulary, the same descriptions in different words. I mean, it was crazy.
But it made perfect sense to understand what it was. It's like if you go to Epcot and you see the little guy explode in the 3D thing and all his little pieces are everywhere.
Right.
That was literally what it was. Now, I've never experienced anything like
That was very
like this.
unusual.
I don't know if you have, to know that there's still cleanup on aisle 4, as I say, had to be done.
You want me to say something?
You could participate in this
Yeah,
anytime.
the funny thing is that you ask for it, and when it comes, then you start like, what's going
Well,
on?
I knew it needed
What's
to be
going-
done. I didn't realize that the
magnitude?
consequences of what it was, or why there would be so much negative in a space where we try to create so much positive, and from the goodness of all the things that we really try to do, we really try to.
Go ahead,
It was a ley line that had been taken over by the
You have a mic?
opposing. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. So it was, this is a ley line that was taken over by the factions that were here before. I'll just call them that way to not give them any type of names. And it was a long time that this needed to override, and I don't want to use the word take over, but in a sense take over and now turn this ley line and the communication that comes out of here to positivity, to elevate. And that's what everybody is here to do, on some way, shape, or form. So it needed to happen, and the other side was not aware what was happening. We hit them with a frying pan by all different angles, for lack of a better term, without them even being aware of that. So we came in and they were like, wait, we had control. They no longer have control.
You know, then I had some other crazy things happening on a personal level, and it was literally one night I was on with Ann Marie and Carol until like 10:45 at night. It was like bing, 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 bang, now it's here, now it's here. How does that happen? Now my ears are going womp womp again.
Just like that, it's energy. It's energy, and what occurs in these moments are beyond the capacity of the human mind to fully comprehend. But when you realize that energy is everywhere, and everything, a thought, a physical object, every ounce of your entire planet, your world, your realm is composed of energy outside of this realm. It's all energy. And so the methods of transference are so complex that you must realize energy transcends space and time. There are no rules until the rules become laid once again, whereby we configure and reconfigure in order to create blockages that will prevent interference. Does this make sense? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I think it's really cool that Wendy and I were here last Wednesday after all of the chaos, like after all the dust settled and it was cleared out. And we felt it so strongly that it was clear in here. But I've been coming here for about 6-7 months, and I didn't realize it was progressively getting, to me, it felt thick, heavy, and to Wendy, it felt staticky. And all of a sudden, I felt this fluidity, this ease to move through. It's hard to communicate. And Wendy felt the static went away. And what I think is really cool and really beautiful is what you guys have been doing here for as long as you've been here has been amazing. But if you're trudging through muck to do it, you've been met with a resistance. That resistance has been removed. So there's no choice but to take off. And I can feel that already. Wendy's like, it's exciting.
And you do spaces, but you also, when we were working together, you clear people.
You can.
Which I didn't realize that was part of a Trance channel, because not only did you clear a space, as you were going through it, there were people that needed clearing and healing within the spaces. How does that work?
I mean, Dawn, I step over and they come in and they do what needs to be done, and that they are capable of transmitting to people. I mean, places, spaces, you know, Carol and I, my partner, when we do clearings, space clearings and stuff, you know, we've done yachts, we've done homes, we've done people. Like, nothing's off limits if we are invited in to do something. You know what I mean? Like, they are able always, if someone asks for a clearing, they are always able to assist in some form or fashion. And there's not always like the heebie-jeebies in there, you know, like there's just whatever, you know, there's residual, like sometimes there's just a residual presence from someone who's crossed over or who hasn't crossed over, you know what I mean? So there's a lot of different, it's fascinating because every single time we do something like that, it's completely different.
Because then I think about people who have medical issues, people who are very ill, and I think, would the angelic realm perhaps help? Could they help? Yeah. And people may say, oh, that's so woo, I don't know. But to me, any sort of help. You know, when I first met you, I always believed in angels and fairies. But I didn't think it was like being Jewish, I didn't think it was an okay thing to believe in. Then I met Rabbi Jenny. And she was one of your clients, and she said, well, the angels are all over the Torah and the Bible. If you look at the prayers that we do in Judaism, the refuah is Archangel Raphael, and they're all there. And it was almost like this awakening of, oh my gosh, you always knew, but now you've got the acceptance that it's okay. You've now crossed religion and the angelic realm. It transcends, like it makes perfect sense in my mind once I met her. And it's kind of what you said. It was like all these pieces of life coming together. And you think you're doing good, and then like you get hit by this muck.
And you are doing good. It's not that you're not doing good. That's
the muck just comes.
You know, it's life, and there are different. Energy is energy. Like there's different. You know, it's a spectrum, right? So you've got this positive here and the negative here. You know, and they both exist. You know, and when the balance, critical mass of the planet shifts towards the negative, then that can become very prevalent and it has a stronghold and it can move forward. Now, conversely, if love has the upper hand in the critical mass of the universal structure, the other way. Do you understand? But all exists at the same time because it is never 100% one way or 100% the other way. So there is that always that tug of war for that critical mass, which is the tipping point. Wendy, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say it's the duality. Firstly, thank you. It's a duality that we're living through. We can decide because there is the law of free will, which way we want to go to, how far we want to go. So when we talk about angels and coming in and helping, they certainly can, but there's a level of us needing to give them permission to do so.
Yeah, for sure.
They'll be there, but there's a level of needing permission. So if there is somebody who's looking for that, they can say, I don't know exactly what I need. Angels, help me elevate. You want to be specific as to what type of energy you want to experience, but you want to be open to allow it to come in the way that it needs to. And Ann Marie, I wanted to share something with you. While you were channeling before and your arms were moving, Spirit wants to say you used to channel with your voice and the frequencies. Now you're doing it with your hands. So I don't know if you're aware, but as you're moving your arms, I can see the energy moving through the air. It's almost as if you're waving an incantation, one would say, but it's more about dispersing the energy of the words as well as through your arms and hands. Yeah. So it's become you've become very adept at that.
Thank you.
You know, and I went before when you were talking about how you stepped into this, and I remember, you know, just through your stories of when you started meditating, and then in the summer of 2018 is when you started going out there with it, and I met you shortly after, and your channeling has changed. You were like a master now, where you were more mechanical. There was just a way about it. Now we're having coffee, and I'm talking to Ann Marie, and then all of a sudden she gets really smart, and she says, some really insightful things, and I'm like, ooh, you know? She's like, yeah, that wasn't me. I'm like, I know. So it's so fluid now, and you're right, it's shifted to the moving the energy as well as it coming through your vocal cords, you know?
And really that's cool. What they do, like, regardless, always when I channel, because they transmit through the palms, right, as well. and they are always either clearing, lifting, moving, reconfiguring. So when, I was doing, when I do your clearings here, like you guys can't see me because it's a recording, but they step into me. So it's not me. They literally step in. So I just give it up, man. And they come in and they speak through me and they're moving my body. It's not me, ever.
That first one was pretty freaky. The second one, that was like a freaking, when I sent that to you that night, he went.
The funny thing about all of this is that Dawn yesterday spent 2 hours trying to get 6 microphones to work.
Yes, I did.
And I came to the conclusion, I sat down because I knew what I thought would resolve the issue. But I said, okay, let me see how long she's going to keep turning in that vat, and that vat, and that vat. And what happens is, when you clear anything out, there's dust. How you handle the dust is how you handle the learn. You're not going to grow from positive all the time. You need a little negative to show you just how much you do. So you bring this upon yourself. So I sat here, and she finally says, can you help me? That was almost 2 hours later. I said, sure. And 15 minutes later, it was resolved.
Yeah.
The object of the game is, if you ask for help, if you want cleaning, then you have to accept the good, the yin, and the yang. And you have to know how to work with the yin, because it's the yang you want to get to. So it's not just clearing it. That's part of it. What you do with the clearing is the next thing. So I finally understood what was happening until I fell on my face in the parking lot.
That's because you tripped over a tire.
That was put in the back of a car at night that nobody could see. And I was walking over to got those tools. And
it literally took 10 days.
And I fell that day, and I got a busted knee, and I fell, and then I realized when I was on the floor, it came to me. Because if you can't handle what comes, then don't ask. Because if you ask, you better be ready to get. This is a different level. So don't panic, learn, do. And I sat there, I fell in slow motion. You ever have a thing where you're falling in slow motion? I went through all of this going down. Says, oh, I think I get it now. So that's the part that I find amazing. I get up this morning, I didn't know any of you were coming. I didn't know anything about, I don't even know what we're doing here.
So I got up this morning trying to meditate, because I was laughing when you said, I do try, and I turned on the megahertz that we talked about yesterday.
432.
I took my AirPods, and since then my ears have been like, womp. They don't hurt. It's not a ringing, it's not tinnitus, it's not a headache. It's just like this frequency of fullness and pulsing. Almost like being in a tunnel. I don't have vertigo, I'm not dizzy like we went through. It's not my allergies. It's just, I guess, everyone was preparing for this, of this energy that's sitting here today. I even told you when you came in this morning, you're like, what you said, what's wrong? I don't know, my ears are like
the
in a tunnel.
432 is actually the sun to the earth is the frequency. And they say that if you put the earpods in, not to hear it in the room, but if you put it, there's a certain part of your brain that it's going to affect.
Yeah, the binaural beats.
Exactly, and that's exactly what you're feeling right now. So it's working. But again, if you can't handle the yin, then how are you going to get to the yang?
It's just a new feeling, I guess, is like what you went through. It's a new feeling to, not to accept it, but to understand how to use it.
And we go with
Remember how you and I used to, you could feel the energy, literally, if people go like this, you can feel this, and some people cannot. But I can, so this womp womp is a new level of, and yes, the conversation we had is I was told that we need to do that after Tuesday also. After I clear out all this.
So we're on the same page. Nice, I like that.
Was that in tennis?
And I know you worked with Lorena, I know, while she's here. You guys did I don't want to get into your personal story, but you heard Ann Marie on that night show, and you're like, I have to call her.
It was a must. I could not call her. As a matter of fact, I had reached out to her, and it took, I think, 2 2.5 months before we finally had a session, because she had some personal issues that she was going through. But I have to tell you, it was the most amazing reading I've ever had. And I have been in the woo-woo world for mega years, a good 40-some years, maybe 50 years. And this was the most spectacular reading I ever had. And she was right. She says that, her consciousness moves to one side, and then she starts channeling. So I found out that Mother Mary has been with me for millennia, and that she has always been there to help guide, heal, and protect as well. And also Archangel Michael. He's one of my guys too, because he's the one who gives me courage, and I stand up, and sometimes my masculinity comes out too, So she was, I cannot, I highly recommend her. If you are in this world, and even if you're not, because I'm going to bust my husband here. Because all of a sudden, my husband says, "You didn't tell me about that reading that you had." And I was like, I'm kind of shy on telling him because I'm afraid that, he's going to go. He loves to debate. And I'm like, I'm not in this space of debating. Well, you didn't tell me. So I think that the next step is he's going to have a reading with Ann Marie as well.
And right, because those are the scientific, the analytical. What he does for a living.
Yeah,
it's so far it's the technology side of, I want to say, the woo, the energy. But people talk about energy. It's energy. We're all energy. Matter is not created nor destroyed. This is another level of energy, and like you said, you need to be prepared for what you ask for. Because it's not just, let me move a spoon with my finger and elevate whatever it is. This stuff is real, and it shifts, and it's not all good, and it's not all fun to play with. There are the other side of this.
That's why, like Wendy said, you have to be.
You need a professional.
It's when you're open, you're on your exploration and all that stuff. It's like you just have to really be cognizant of protecting your energy, because you're a curious kid, right? So you don't realize, like you said, you don't realize there's other things out there, and it doesn't discriminate. If you say, I'm ready to experience the fairies, and maybe there's not some fairies that are so good. You know what I'm saying? So it's an open doorway, and if you say, come on in, everybody's coming in, so, and it's just
we've all learned it in our own way, the hard way. Yeah. We've all had our own
the only way you
experiences
learn.
of like, okay, these are the boundaries, these are the parameters. We all had to learn how to, in our own way, how to put up the wall where necessary and what to allow in.
And it may not only affect you, it will affect your entire perimeter of your life, which happened to me. So when you clear space and there's other remnants, it may affect you and your mood or somebody else's mood, and then you're going to get the other side of it.
Right.
It spills over, and it's not always, clean up on aisle 4. It can be big and messy and hurt people.
But that's the easy solution. You call it fairies. Maybe other people's definition of a fairy could be happiness. Maybe a gremlin could be sadness. It all depends. You don't have to believe. That's okay. You can argue with me. That's okay, because I'm not going to argue anymore. I'm going to tell you what my father used to tell me. I got time on my side, because eventually you're going to believe. It's going to hit you. It's going to hit you when you least expect it. You're going to sit there and say, holy smokes, what is going on? And then you're going to say, well, maybe they had a point. So time is on my side. You don't have to believe. That's okay. I got no rush with that. None. Just make sure that you respect the next person. That's all. That is all that I ask for. Don't make fun of somebody, because nobody should make fun of anybody. And maybe her fairy tale or her fairy is your happiness. Maybe they're just the same, but they're under different disguises.
It's just semantics.
That's all it is.
At the end of the day, it's all energy. That's it. How the fairy appears for you and how happiness appears, what's the difference? It's the same frequency of that particular joy, filled frequency.
So before you leave, I know we have to let you get out of here. Are there any other messages? I can't be specific because they're going to have their own message that we should ask.
So just for clarity purposes, we want to express to everyone that all energy, all has its own voice, whether it be through her vocal cords like this, whether it is through a sound vibration, whether it is through a light vibration. All energy has its own voice. And as Freddie has just stated, it is simply semantics. There is no, in our realm, we are never insulted. We are never telling you what to call us. We are a society of love and light, and whatever you call us, as long as you realize that we are here to guide you and assist you through whatever form of communication you are capable of receiving. We speak to you through the lyrics of a song, through signage, through a memory that rises suddenly out of nowhere, out of the natural world. We speak to you always. When you ask for assistance, be open to the communication that we are capable of providing to you. You are each and every one of you different. It is never the same for anyone. There are similarities, but there will never be an exact duplicate of your capacity to receive, which comes from the truth of you. And it is in line with you. Your capacity to do whatever that looks like is in line with what is right for you. There is nothing that is wrong when you align with yourself. We also want to state that there are very often times in this spiritual journey, the realm that is out there, individuals believe they should do something like that, or they are taught it should look like this. We caution you to just allow yourself to receive and to explore in your own way and follow your way. Do not beat yourself up. Do not think you are failing. Do not think that you are not doing it right. It is right for you.
That is amazing. That is actually the perfect segue to chapter 6 of the 10 Commandments book, because attachment and the outcome versus the journey. Yeah. So perfect segue for that.
Do you mind if I say?
I'm sorry, can I just say one more
Please.
thing? They're like, you're welcome. Sorry.
That was like a perfect segue.
Can I share how to find Ann Marie?
Perfect.
So if you go to my website, ubuntufishgallery.com, UBUNTU, fishgallery.com, one of the tabs will say Ann Marie. Just go there. You could find her books. You could get information on what she does, her clearings, as well as her one-on-one services, and there's contact forms, and you could go from there. But everything that you need to know is right there.
Thank you.
You're pretty unbelievable.
Thank
You
you.
all are amazing. The gifts that come in one place, I mean, people want this all over the place, and that we actually get to have all of you here in one place in one day at one moment in time. It's like beyond amazing. So thank you, angels, for facilitating all of this.
That was all you, dude.
That's something else. We're going to take a commercial break. More to come with the Ubuntu Room 10 Rex, Chapter 6. We'll be right back.
Our preschool team provides personalized education and therapy services that are specifically designed to meet the unique needs of our children. These students are overcoming medical conditions that have been affecting their physical abilities since birth. Our specialized teacher and therapists understand the critical role that occupational and physical therapy play in helping these young children to develop essential skills in their early education program. We like for the children to leave us as shining stars and enter the big world of kindergarten.
Welcome to La Mesa Cafe Bistro, where every cup has a story. From freshly brewed coffee to comforting, flavorful dishes, it's the perfect place to slow down and savor the moment. Open 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. from Tuesday to Saturday, and 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Sunday and Monday. Stop by and taste the difference at 48 Northeast 1st Avenue in Boca Raton.
Looking for great coffee and a place to unwind? Come to Tiki Coffee and Desserts. We serve gourmet coffee made fresh, rich espresso, smooth lattes, and handcrafted specialty drinks made just the way you like them. Pair it with one of our delicious desserts, from creamy cheesecakes to fresh pastries and sweet treats made to satisfy every craving. No matter what you're in the mood for, you can trust that it's been prepared with care and quality ingredients. Enjoy a warm, welcoming atmosphere where our friendly staff make you feel right at home the moment you walk in. Whether you're meeting friends, taking a break, getting some work done, or simply treating yourself, Tiki Coffee and Desserts is the perfect stop. Don't miss out on an irresistible experience you'll want to come back to again and again. Tiki Coffee and Desserts, the hottest new coffee shop in Boca.
At AM2 TV, we don't just create content, we produce experiences. From concept to final cut, we bring your vision to life with cinematic quality and precision. Whether it's music videos, branded content, or live productions, we make it stand out. AM2 TV, where your vision gets amplified.
You're listening to the Midday Brooklyn Cafe Show with Dawn and Freddie S. Every weekday from 12 to 2, tune in for the ultimate midday escape. The perfect blend of entertainment, culture, and community, all served up with a side of Brooklyn flair. It's the South Florida show that everyone's talking about.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
The LZ-129 Hindenburg, the largest dirigible ever built and a symbol of Nazi Germany, caught fire and was destroyed while attempting to land at Lakehurst, New Jersey on May 6, 1937. The disaster killed 36 people and marked the end of the airship era as a major form of passenger travel. On May 6, 1940, John Steinbeck won the Pulitzer Prize for his novel The Grapes of Wrath. The story follows the Joad family as they lose their Oklahoma farm and travel to California seeking a better life. On May 6, 1991, Harry Grant won the Winston 500 at Talladega, Alabama, earning his 12th career NASCAR Winston Cup victory. At age 51, he set a record as the oldest driver to win a NASCAR race. The win further cemented his reputation as a late career standout in stock car racing. On May 6, 2004, the final episode of Friends aired, drawing over 51 million viewers as the iconic theme song, I'll Be There For You, played one last time. Created by Marta Kaufman and David Crane, the show follows 6 friends navigating life in New York City.
And we're back. We look like the Three Stooges. No laughing.
It's like, oh. I told you I'm so sensitive to noise, and then I got the in my ear. Thank you.
Welcome home.
Oh, there
How
they
you
are.
doing?
Wow, what a segment that was.
Yeah, it's very powerful.
How you feel?
The power.
I feel like my eyebrows have grown.
What do you? What do you think about that?
Well, the kids we just
Yeah,
had
what
a
are they thinking?
conversation about it. They asked me, "Do you believe?" And I says, "Don't ask me if I believe. Do you believe?" So I said to them, sometimes something has to happen in your life that you sort of kind of maybe believe. You know, you're like, okay, you go to church like once every 3 years, you know, something like that, and then something happens, and when that something happens, man, and you come back, you believe. So, you know my story. I believe. Simple.
Interesting, right? I think Ann Marie is just spectacular, how she does it, to see it happen. And we were talking during commercial break. People seek this information. They look for spiritual guidance. I mean, you've got a show tonight, people seeking spiritual guidance. How many years you been doing this show with Sarah?
8 years.
So people are seeking guidance. And here we have in one room, we've got Wendy, we've got Dana, we've got Ann Marie, you've got Lorraine. It's like, whew. It was, and my vibration was like, oh my gosh, it's just like so loud in here, but that's just me. But you talk about what people are looking for all in one place. The resources
beware
are
when
here.
you find it, because and then you don't know what to do with it, and all of a sudden you start walking around and your eyes begin to wiggle.
You then start associating more with people like you, because the people unlike you can share, but if they don't believe, but everyone's looking to find their tribes. Find your tribe. So a lot of great information.
But also sometimes you take Max. Max showed up in December or November. Sometimes it isn't about the ones that preach it, but the ones that learn it. So there's a whole vat of peanuts in this M&M bag.
Sure.
Yep.
True. But I'm really excited because Ann Marie gave us the perfect segue to get into our 10 Recommendments for Personal Empowerment book club. I want to say chapter 6, but recommendment 6. This was a long chapter. Not that I'm complaining. I just, for me to read, I actually have to physically take the time and say I have to read. And Dana said it's a long one, and it was. So it took me a couple of days to get through it. But wow, pretty pertinent and pretty powerful. So I'm going to roll this over to Dana. Let's roll her intro.
Maybe.
This segment has been sponsored by the Ubuntu Room. Come join Dana Sardano as she offers life-changing advice that will affect the spiritual, emotional, and physical aspects of your being. Within her easily available writings, you will find the solution you need for your problems. Tune in to the Ubuntu Room on the Brooklyn Cafe Show.
Hi, my name is Dana Sardano, and this is the Ubuntu Room. I am so glad you're here. Thank you for joining me. So, Book Club, Rec 6. We are on the decline, which is awesome. But as Dawn said, Rec 6 was a really long one. Rec 6 and Rec 4 are the most in-depth and, have you do the most digging. But I think it gets a little bit easier from here on out. Before we get into the 6th recommendment, there's something that I want to talk about. I always have time to reflect from the week before, and this is what I'd like to share with you today. So I published 10 Recommendments for Personal Empowerment in the spring of 2022, wrote it in the spring of 2021. And in the process, in that publishing process, I handed it off to a lot of people, had friends read it. I've had plenty of people read it, even from then to now. And I've got some varied responses. There's the people who were like, oh, it's a fun read. You tell great stories. And then there's the people that open it, read a page, and they're like, no, it's not for me. And then there's the people who read it, they put it down, they pick it up, they get immersed, they get stuck on a recommendment, they go back to it, and it really, really kicks their butts. And I'm bringing this up because we all are going to receive this information differently. For those that said it's a fun read, they weren't ready to pick up its power and its purpose. For those who couldn't even open it, weren't even ready to look at it. But for those who really were ready to commit to themselves and take the time and look within, because that's all it is a guidebook, to look within and really understand how to bring themselves back into balance, that is the challenge. So we are on Rec 6 today, but if you are still, figuring out that your solar plexus chakra from Rec 4, is out of whack and looking at that, then stay there. Do what it is you have to do. Or if you're still examining your beliefs and how they affect your patterns, or you still look at life a little bit in victimhood and are trying to pull yourself out of that, please do that. There is no shame in the game. We'd love you to join us, hang out, let's talk Rec 6, but please do not feel in any way that you're doing it wrong, because you're doing what's best for you, and that's what matters here. So with that said, Recommendment 6, I shall not judge, attach, or expect anything from anyone or any situation. Rather, I shall recognize and understand that judgment, attachment, and expectation rob me of my peace. Now, when I first heard this, I was like, come on. And when I explored it, and that's really the content in the Sixth Commandment, how when I explored that and I made sense of it. But when you really think about it, and I just want to just kind of put this out there and then focus on our own attachments and our own judgments and our own expectations and see how we can bring them back to center. But what I really thought about it is like, when people say attachment, they're like, oh, we're attached to all sorts of things. But really, we commit to things. But when it is all convoluted with emotion and imbalance, it becomes attachment or judgment. My husband's like, oh, you have to judge. I have to judge things to know what's right and wrong for me. No, you have to discern things. You have to assess things. But when there's attachment and there's an emotional component that creates imbalance, then it becomes judgment. And expectation. Yeah, intention is important. We intend to do things. That's what navigates. That's our rudder. But when that attention turns to expectation because we are attached to an outcome, it creates imbalance. So at the end of the day, judgment, attachment, and expectation are all just when we are out of balance. And when we can see that and bring ourselves back into balance, it's smooth sailing. So I want to know your attachments. I want to know your judgments. I want to know your expectations. And I want to have a conversation. So let's do this.
Go ahead, Wendy.
Oh, so I got
She pointed at you first.
I just got to make sure you have a mic.
Oh, yes, I do.
Okay, all right,
Mic'd up,
perfect.
yep. So, we were briefly talking just before the segment started about the attachments to our identity. So there was a period of time that I've always wanted to, since being a child, I wanted to help people. And so I went into pharmacy technician, registered, certified for 21 years. And you start to find out certain aspects. So I'm not going to go into the whole thing, but you start getting into aspects. And what I wanted to do, help people, this was not exactly what I expected it to be. And finally went out and with my son's autism diagnosis went somewhere else. The reason why I mentioned that is because I can see myself as two different versions of helping people. There was this one medicated, chemical, sterile kind of place, and that didn't quite resonate with me. So I wanted to be in a place where I could offer healing from a different place. So I had to leave my attachment to what the society would look at as helping people. How could I tell people what I do and be accepted? When I would tell them I was a pharmacy technician, there was always some kind of notoriety or respect for what I did.
They understand that.
Yeah.
So after getting out of that, then it was like rebuilding now a new identity. How do I put myself forward and making sure that people understood that I had this grounding, because people look for grounding. If you say I'm part of the woo, people aren't going to give you the time of day. But the minute that I say, hey, I have this background in healthcare and experience with my son, there's a different way that people approach you and move around you. So it goes hand in hand with understanding that you had an attachment, or I had an attachment to that identity, and now I had to kind of like put it on the back burner to say, yes, this is part of it, but this is now my new identity, and there's nothing wrong with me.
There's so many things in your book that resonated with me, but since you're talking about that, when I started working with Freddie, I was in my late 40s, and I wasn't quite in the 50s. I wasn't quite in that change of life, but I had kids young. So they had already gone to school. I was already like an empty nester. I was looking for what was next in my identity. I worked in my dad's medical office. He retired, we closed the office, and then it's like, what was next? And I started working with Freddie, and the women that came forward, and I say women because it was all women seeking a new identity, like you spoke about in the chapter. What am I gonna do in my 50s? I've got this whole life ahead. Now what? So we met with a lot of empowerment coaches, women doing solopreneurs. They weren't in corporate. They were looking to find their own identity, not whether it be pharmacy tech or anything else, which I thought was so interesting that you talked, not interesting, but again, resonated with. You had so many things in this chapter that if you really take the time to go through the information, it will resonate in different levels. But it made me think of the women we always worked with, and now the women are a whole nother level.
Everything's a different
right?
level. When I came, my life has always been taking one step back to take 2 steps forward.
Yes.
So when I went to NYU, I was going to be in medicine because I wanted to help people. But I didn't realize I didn't want to do that. But I found out the hard way I didn't want to do that. So I left that and I finished my studies and I got into politics. I got into different jobs. Dawn says I had 2,897 jobs. Nothing ever made me happy. Making money was not even the reason I did it. And I always made money. It was just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Then when I came to Florida on a whim and lost $7 million, I came to the conclusion that I'm in trouble because the project I was building stopped. And I showed you the project and the blueprint. She's seen it. So I'm not making this up.
Right.
I ended up living in the streets. And then one day, my son, I went to visit him. Everything moved up, and I went to visit him, and he was doing streaming, and it changed my life. I didn't know anything about a camera. I didn't know anything about lights. I didn't know anything about people. But it sat me down at a radio station, and one thing that radio does is it makes you talk to people. Then I met this one. After 4 years of that chase, she said no many, many times. She finally came forward. And everything changed when she came and her daughter decided to bring them in. So I went 1 step back, 2 steps forward, and all of that came about. And it's just been a different novel for the last 10 years.
1,000%.
One way after the other, one way after the other. And you find your way. Because even though they don't understand what that means yet, don't learn it my way.
Exactly.
Learn it that way.
Exactly.
It's a whole lot easier learning it that way than this way.
1,000%.
It's funny because when I read the title, it's different than the reading of the chapter. Again, I guess, not that it was a judgment, it was an expectation of what I thought it was going to be. I shall not judge, attach, or expect anything from anyone or any situation. And sometimes I'll say to you, I don't expect anything. And you're like, well, that's like a little jaded. Don't you think you should have expectations? But you learn in life not to have expectations of people because what happens? And sometimes they let you down.
Yeah.
So you don't. So then he'll say, well, that's judgmental. Yes, I could have a whole conversation with you. You don't open your mouth.
Oh my God, that's me and Rob. And I'm like, yeah. And then I say my part.
He's like, well, you're judging. I'm like, I'm not judging. These are just facts. It's like, well, so it's all of this in this chapter that you say it's discerning the information.
Yeah, you know, Angela and I used to joke about it's not judging, it's assessing. So we're like, you're getting a little assessy. You're a little assessy. So that was the joke. But I'm glad you brought up expectation because there's a line. Like, I forget the stuff that I write because some of it comes through, right? But there's something that I wrote here that I just wanted to share that I thought was, if I may say so myself, I thought was interesting. You know, I talk about expectation. And I talk about how I consider myself to be a relatively generous person. When I care for you, like I'm willing to do anything for you. And I always thought of myself that way, but I'd be in these relationships where I'd get taken for granted, or taken advantage of, and it would always leave me feeling victimized, right? Yes. Like, people don't appreciate me, and then feed all those old beliefs. And what I realize now, because now I give from a true place of love, whereas before it came with an expectation. If I gave to you, if I was generous with you, you have to love me because I didn't believe that I was worthy of love. And I didn't, obviously hindsight is just such a, you know, these glasses are so much more brilliant than when you're in it. But I wrote, this is about my giving and feeling taken for granted. Is loving someone with a level of expectation really love? Or is it a way of manipulating the situation to get unfulfilled needs met? And going back and seeing that, I thought it was brilliant, but it was really profound because if I'm giving to you so you can give me what I need, that's conditional love. It's coming with expectation. What is really true love or again the true giving without expectation? And that's what I had to look at myself my whole life, because those are my tendencies to go off balance, because my coping skill or my superpower is the desire, the generosity, but when it comes at my peril, then there's that level of expectation that I have to put back in check. You know,
But I also thought it was interesting when you talked about the passing of your mom and your brother's phone call to you. And I kept thinking, because I know what
That
happened.
was a big deal.
I know what happened in my family in a similar situation and what happened, and it was the opposite of what happened in your book. So
You
I'm
can
sitting,
share the detail if you want. I mean, that's like.
well, I mean, it's your book. So, but I remember thinking, wow, how's she going to handle this? What's she going to do?
Were
Is
you
she
surprised?
going to? For me, yes, because for me, I'm always the people pleaser, and I would have done it something else. And I did. We actually, with my sibling, to do it another way.
Yeah.
But you didn't, and you went through, and you were like, you had no regrets on it.
No.
So you knew it was the right thing to do. So you can share. I don't want to share your story.
Yeah, it was a really big deal. So it's so hard without giving all the backstory. But essentially, I had been estranged from my mother from when I got married in 2014. It was a really ugly, it was Chernobyl. It was a really ugly situation. And my mother, my brother, my stepfather, it was just ugliness. And it had been ugly my whole life, but that was like the final battle. And so I didn't see my children, like it was a thing. And so from 2014 to about 2017, I had been fully estranged from my mother. And somewhere in the summer of 2017, I got a random text from my brother that, again, out of the blue, because I'd been estranged from my brother probably 10 years before that, but basically said, your mother is full of cancer, maybe you want to go see her. And I had to make the decision. What I had freed myself from, where I had spent all the last 3 years healing myself from, in fetal on the floor, my husband picking me up, putting me back together, because I had to readjust my beliefs that I was somehow deserving of, we'll just call it the mistreatment. Now is my obligation to my mother. This is what you're supposed to do. Go and see her on her death. I think the title is My Mother's Deathbed, right? To go and see her. Is that belief of what I should do more important than my self-preservation and my healing? And I chose not to go. And I don't remember exactly how I wrote it, but it was something like, I chose not to step into the hornet's nest, and I had no regrets. And I found out that my mother passed a few months later I got a text from a family friend, a message on Facebook. And she was like, my condolences. And I felt like somebody punched me in the stomach because I had no idea, and my mother passed. Now, fast forward, book plug to Beyond the 10 Decoding the Woo Woo. I tell the story that I entitle My Mother's Box. And that's all bringing the thing full circle. But it is about a box I received in the mail after my mother passed. We'll just leave it at that. But yeah, no regrets. And I get how I would be judged. I had circumstances with my girl's birth father. I get how you could judge me. But you don't live my existence, just as I don't live your existence. And I had to make decisions that were my best and highest good based on my self-love, my self-preservation. And once I chose to do that, my life became a beautiful place to live. 1,000%. I want to hear from Max.
Uh-oh. I had a feeling you were going to say that at some point, but you already stole my thunder because I was going to read the same line that you just read.
Up, read it again. We'll pretend like we didn't hear it.
I even have the page folded down, but I feel like this concept is just really important about, is loving somebody with a level of expectation really love, or is it a way of manipulating the situation to get unfulfilled needs met? And
that was
I
powerful.
hope I don't cry because
we got you, boo.
I just am in a transition with a relationship in my life, and I think I've been doing that.
It's okay. I would give you a tissue, but I've got nothing. It's okay. So we'll
get you one.
It's okay.
So you're in the thick of it.
And this person's been acting the same way. They haven't changed. I'm the one that's changed. I'm noticing their behavior, and it's I shouldn't be putting up with this treatment.
There you go. Oh, look at that magic. I'll put them right
anyway, I meant to warn you guys that I felt like I was going to cry.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's no shame in the game. So isn't that funny how when you change, they don't get the memo. They don't get the memo. So now you have to make these hard decisions for them because they're just confused, just playing the same role that they've always played.
Yep.
So, but now you have to make a choice. Do you drown with them? Or do you free yourself and rise? And you've got to love yourself to do that. You know what I mean?
Well, and it's I feel like I've been resistant to making change. It's I want to get in shape, but I don't feel like going to the gym or eating healthy. Like, I feel like I'm that person. But like, this is just, I just read the book. I finished it like in the first week before we even started the book club. And it just feels like, it's like once you learn something, you can't ignore it. So I didn't even really have to do anything. I just read the book, and things have started to happen, which is amazing.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome.
But it's a great, there's so many things. You talk about identity and so many things. It could almost be like a book in itself, this one chapter.
This is a big one.
Because there's a lot of things in it, and the judgment's interesting. I know, I had the whole conversation with you, asked and answered and everything. But we talk about it a lot. And you talk about, well, the attachment's another big one, because you don't realize, I guess the word attachment, what everyone has their definition of what attachment is, right? There can
According
be,
to Ann Marie, it's all semantics. You have to have the energy, the frequency of attachment.
But right, there can be attachment to a person. It can be an energetic attachment. It can be a physical attachment. It can be an emotional attachment. I know.
Complicate
life.
The attachment, because the thing happens, like what happened to Max, that's the physicality of it. Something did happen.
Yeah.
And now the semantics is what keeps you at that, reliving that over and over again. It's the verbiage, it's the understanding, as you talking to yourself and trying to convince yourself, okay, I'm over this, and you can't, because the semantics get in the way. So all of a sudden, you're coaching yourself on words, not on the action that took place.
100%. And not on the really the feeling behind it, the frequency behind it, because all of our words mean something different to each of us.
Exactly.
1000%. Yeah. And I talk about all the different, I think attachment was the longest part in this section of judgment, attachment, and expectation, because we're attached to so many things. Earlier we talked about, the attachment to identity, the attachment to stuff, the attachment to beliefs. Oh my God. And I talk about, and here the trunk. I don't know if you remember the story about the trunk, and the attachment to things that we feel keep us connected to those we love. And when I had that experience, I was able to truly grieve it because I had stuffed it down, and then put it to rest. And I think many of us need to do that. If you look around, your place is cluttered. This place is all these things that have stories. I'm talking about in your home, things that you're afraid. Oh, this paper towel roll. This was the time that, if you don't want to get rid of that because the connection to that, you have to ask yourself. What? Oh my God, I'm like the greatest cardboard hoarder. I don't know what it is. It's weird. It's a weird thing. I am such a minimalist, but my cardboard collection is off the charts.
Cardboard and styrofoam. And bubble wrapping. Yes.
You know, I suffer from that. I don't throw anything away.
I know.
Do you know that, again, I just discovered, I don't know what you want to call this, I hate going home to an empty house. So it's like when Linda goes away with her daughter or something, or there's nobody there, I hate coming home to an empty house. So
not me. I'm like, yes, party.
Yeah. Oh my God, for me. Oh, my underwear slide across the floor.
No,
I'm like, no TV, no noise, no nothing.
I can't. So when I was in Tampa, and I was living in this trailer, it was always alone. And my goodness gracious, I learned the lesson. I got to get over this thing. But there's something in my psyche somewhere that I can't stand it. I don't like that there's nobody there syndrome. So I can, and I don't throw anything away. She'll tell you, I see that can reminds me of
that's so
when me and
fun.
my
It does
brother
the
used to
attachment.
hang.
There's like a box. We have some equipment we just got. We got to get rid of it. I need to return it. Oh no, we'll take care of it later. Under a chair.
Oh my God.
And what about this?
Laz,
Under
Rob,
a chair.
and Freddie need to have a little I save stuff that is
Yeah, but
crap.
I fix it and I use it. You know that recorder that's in the lobby? That's a radio recorder from 1962 when I was born. And they brought that to me. I didn't seek it, they brought it to me.
Yeah.
That's big stuff.
I want to ask you, Dana, why did you write this book?
Good question.
Why did I write this book?
That's a really good question.
I wrote this book because I got a lot to say, but I wrote this book. I had mentioned in, I think, the first
Dying
episode
from COVID.
that, I got COVID and it slowed me down long enough to get my stuff in writing. But call it a compulsion to share what I've learned with others to hopefully make it easy for them. It's my purpose. Like
1000%.
I can't, you can't explain your calling to another person. You know, why did Noah build an ark? He had to. Like, he just could not, you know what I mean? He couldn't not do it.
But you could have done it in a different way. You could have just shared it factually.
Oh, why don't I share my stories?
Well, there's a lot. Well, one was the book. There's attachment is this. Are you attached to something? But you really go deep into your personal life from the beginning.
Okay. Okay. So why did I do that? So, you know, it goes back to all my years in education. I taught high school kids, 9th and 10th grade, and sometimes 11th, but predominantly 9th and 10th grade. And everything I taught, the way I connect on a personal level. So it didn't matter if I was teaching something in English about, you know, a book and literature. It didn't matter what I was teaching in history. I was always able to connect it to them with something personal, and they always connected. And it's just so unnatural. It's how I educate. And they always responded because you could connect to the humanness of it.
1,000%.
So I could say attachment is XYZ, which is very clinical, but if I start saying, hey, listen, I sat in my closet and cried over a trunk over a guy that I fell in love with when I was 21 who died, people are going to go, oh, I lost so-and-so and this one, and then they can connect. So I understand the magnitude of us being open about our stories and connecting. My ability to do that comes from
your muses.
Not giving a lot. No, I'm just kidding. My ability to do that comes from I have nothing left to hide. I have nothing left to hide. Boy, there's no shame in the game, because if I share my story and you connect with it, maybe you'll have courage to share your story. And if we're all open and authentic and honest and share our stories, then we can heal from them. And that, because when I published it, I was like, oh my God, everybody's gonna know my stuff. But then I got past that quickly because you understand there was more value to it in sharing my story than just saying.
Yeah, because I had to think about a lot of it. Like when my dad passed last year, it was totally flipped. That my sister came and she made her peace with my dad, who he couldn't make his peace, or maybe he did, I don't know. He was not able to physically, but she was able to, which changed the family dynamics of that. And she had that moment to do that, which was the opposite of what you chose to do. But my sister had to make that choice.
Yeah.
Do I go make peace with Dad, or don't I?
Yeah.
And you chose to make your own peace the way you did.
To make my own peace.
Right, and she chose to make her peace that way. She didn't have to. So yes, your own stories help, I think, people, at least for me, discern the circumstances, because we all have situations in our life that we can relate to. The trunk I'm cracking up over, because as we're cleaning out my mom and dad's stuff, my mom has wills from like my great grandparents.
Wow.
In Russian.
Which is cool.
But do you keep it?
Exactly.
Yes.
Do you? So?
Yeah.
Do you keep it? And it's funny because my sister is the one going through all of it, and she's like, okay, that's Pop-Pop's passport from when he was 3 and he went to Russia and he got stuck there during the war and he couldn't, and translating and putting it, and so she's like, that's a keep pile.
Frame
Oh,
it.
that's right. I talk about the 3
So
piles.
that's the keep pile. She goes, it's not bothering anyone, it's another piece of paper. It goes in the keep pile. Now her wife throws everything away. And she's like, but why? And my sister goes, but it's one piece of paper. So it's
Frame
funny
it.
to see
That
the
is funny.
dynamics
Put it in
of
a
what
frame.
you keep. And my mother is like you. My mother keeps everything.
I gotta tell you, your son and your daughter and your granddaughter, think about
They're
the
gonna-
future.
I know.
My kids, forget about Gio and Freddie. Forget about it. They have no clue to my past. At least Gio has a clue to his grandmother's past. And if you don't take and remember something about your parents, you're gonna lose your past.
Oh, you're right.
So keep it.
But Freddie, there's no, like, at least in the book, like, nobody's saying, or I'm not saying, you know, get rid of everything and, like, you know, be a complete minimalist and have, you know, no feeling, no connection. Like, I have things that I've kept from my father. It's when it's painful to let it go. You've seen the show Hoarders. It always comes from some sort of trauma that people are fearful and they don't let go. So, like, again, back to the decanter we talked last week. Like, that mattered to me. But if
That's why nobody's gonna drink from it.
You'll have
Nobody's
it forever.
gonna
You'll have
drink.
it forever.
I will have it for as long as I have it.
But it's really about looking at yourself and why. Where's the fear? Because that's where the attachments come from. Wendy, you've had a very difficult time letting stuff go because there's a fear, survival. There's these attachments. And that's all we're saying. I think it's great to have I used to have my father's passport because my kids. It's like a cool thing to have.
But
You know
yeah,
what I
that
mean?
blow dryer might break, so I need 3 more in the other drawer in case that one breaks. I've got another
no,
one.
and that's fear.
Or the 5 tweezers,
Yes.
because what if I don't have the exact tweezer for the right? I know.
Yeah, yeah.
Silly
So
things.
it's just, again, everybody's different. There's more than one way to skin a cat, but I think that there's value in looking at these things and looking at ourselves and really asking, if everything is great, then great. But if your life is out of balance and you realize, well, if I made fewer judgments, or if I didn't expect so much, I wouldn't be so disappointed all the time. Or if I wasn't so attached, I would be able to move forward with things like my business last year. That attachment to that relationship and to that business was keeping me from this place. Yeah. Period.
Think
about that.
It was simmering you.
Yeah. It was simmering me. Yeah.
It was adding the ingredients that make you today.
But hear what I'm saying. If I stayed there probably longer than what was good for me, but if I had stayed another year, we wouldn't be sitting here right now.
1000%.
I would not have, and I'm gonna do this for you, Max, leveled up the way I did.
Yeah.
If I had stayed because of my obligation, my attachment, my expectation of what that should, all of those things. And once I released that, as hard as it was, once I left the yeshiva, once I released that as hard as it was, once I ended the relationships with all the people that have caused me pain, as difficult as that was, it's like a buoyancy. So your attachments, if you're happy, if you love all your crap, then good for you. But if your crap is weighing you down, then release those attachments and rise.
I'm going to tell you something. You're saying that, and the thing that hits me in the gut, and I'll keep it brief. When we talk about the releasing of stuff, I had an opportunity to release old furniture that I didn't even think meant anything. And then I went through the files of my son's IEPs and whatnot. And I sat back at his first IEPs to where he's at right now, 2 different children. I mean, obviously, he's older. But when I let those papers go, I read them and I threw them away. I literally cried. When I got rid of that furniture and it was gone, I didn't realize how much of my old life was represented in that furniture anymore. And I had milked it. I was always proud. I don't have any credit card debt on what I have for furniture. It's all mine. And when I finally got rid of it, I realized, there was a level of attachment. My identity was attached to these things. And the minute they were gone, now I could celebrate the fact that my son is where he's at, that those papers don't have any relevancy of that. Even though I do have a couple of papers, Dana's always like, you could put them in digital. But there's something about that.
Throw them out!
There's something about that tangible thing to see. Look at how he wrote his name to how he's writing it now and what he's doing now. So there's a level of where I was attached here. Now I'm not. Now I can see it from, look where we came from. So I've gotten to put it through, I guess, a transformation.
And then you can let it go.
1000%.
And like that's what I talk about with Vincenzo in the trunk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I got rid of everything and I wasn't ready. I grieved it, but I had to take that picture out. And then when I was ready, then I was able to let it go. So there's no judgment, just assessment, but there's no judgment about how long it takes you to release it. I think the message here is to understand, recognize, broaden your awareness to where these attachments are holding you back. That's it.
That's it.
Start there. And if you want to stay attached, then hey, go do your thing.
I get amazed because one of the things that I love about the way you do what you do is that you have stories upon stories upon stories. And I am the same way. I can give you a story about a can of soda. I can give you a story about Coca-Cola. The can, my father bought stock when they opened. His brother made him get rid of the stock.
Oh, Jesus.
I wouldn't even be here if he hadn't gotten rid of that stock.
Oh, my
But the object of the game here, what's happening in our present life, is that to communicate, you got to do it with stories. You got to have some of that history. You got to have some of those things so that people can sort of think about. And this is what you do. I all of a sudden sit here thinking about my past, my future is in 2 parts. I didn't think about that. But listening to what you're talking about, the reason I don't want to open that decanter, because that ain't done yet. That story ain't done yet.
1000%.
It's going to be done, but it ain't today. And one day we'll drink it. It just ain't now. That's why I don't open it. She makes fun of me. Don't open the bottle. You don't open it. I don't open it. I got bottles in there that are 10 years old from the very first day we started. Remember that?
Wow.
Because it ain't done yet. Now, the day that I hang it up and I'm done, I'll open all the bottles.
And that's what I'm talking about. When you're ready,
When you're ready.
whatever everybody's readiness is different, you'll let go of the IEP when you're ready. I put the picture in the pile when I was ready. You're drink it when you're ready. You'll know when you're ready.
Exactly.
But if it's not holding you back, then all right, just collects a little
But
dust.
I
Who
love the
cares?
lessons that it's taught because they bring us forward.
What's chapter 7? You ready for the next chapter?
What's the next chapter?
I don't even know.
It's a long one.
No, 7's not long.
No, I mean to get to it. I shall not refute the truth and deny the solution to that truth.
Yeah.
You mean being honest with oneself?
Yeah, I was like, denial,
Wow.
not just a river in Egypt.
We're getting there.
That's the book that burns the pages.
All right, how do people get the book?
So you can go to ubuntufishgallery.com and you can find the book, the audio book, the journal, the other books, the artwork, and I make a lot of jokes and I glaze over it, but seriously, if any of this resonates with you, the 3 books, the trilogy starting with this one, are truly the answer. They help you look within. They keep it organized. I cannot recommend them enough. If I had these when I was going through this, I likely wouldn't have to write them, right? I implore you, just go take a look, read more about them, grab the audiobooks, and gets to getting.
Gets to getting. All right, before we go to commercial break, Wendy created, is it a portal?
I would say just a crystal grid.
A crystal grid. All right, can you not grab it, but
I have to say, when she first started talking about grids, I imagined like a piece of graph paper.
all right, this is one of the pieces that Wendy is donating for the Future Foundation's fundraiser on Tuesday at Crazy Uncle Mike's. And it's going to be in a raffle. Can you,
There you go.
tell us about it, what it does, what it represents?
So I wanted to create a grid that was specific to the event. So this is finding voice, finding your space,
Vision.
voice and vision. That's basically what it is voice and vision for all of you guys that are doing what you're doing, finding your voice. We're in communication. So these are all relative to communication, to growth, new beginnings, opening up all these possibilities to what the next chapter looks like. But it's really being honest with our voice, finding our voice, and finding, in essence, what our piece in this whole creation is.
It is so beautiful.
Thank
So-
you.
You know,
I'm glad
you remember
like
back in the day when they had the pyramids and you put it over your bed or
Yeah.
under your bed?
What do they
Or you
call
put it
those?
over the doorway?
Yep.
The pyramids of life, whatever it was called.
Yes.
Yeah, they were
Yes.
copper.
Yep,
right?
I
Copper?
did that
Yeah.
for a bit too.
You did that?
Yep.
If you understand that science, you'll understand this science because
Yep.
let me tell you,
Sacred
things
geometry.
change.
Yep.
Yeah, Wendy is very, very humble, but when she creates those grids, she's just not picking beads out of a box and throwing them on there. She is channeling the higher wisdom to help her best channel that energy into that grid, so that energy assists the person who has the grid. So it's really a magical thing you do.
Thank you. It's similar to what Ann Marie does. So I take what's out in the ethers and I combine it with the minerals and put them together for a specific need.
Beautiful.
Out
So,
in the ethers.
join us.
Wait a minute, you were making an announcement. Out in the ethers.
Yeah.
Announcement. Thursday.
Oh, yeah, Thursdays. I will be out in the ethers.
Wow.
Do you guys want to make the announcement? Or am I making it?
You.
All right. So Thursdays, every other Thursday, starting May 14th, I am now doing the Ubuntu Room with Dana Sardano on Oldies FM, South Florida Oldies. And I'm super excited. I'm super excited. Everything that we talk about here, that we talk about in my regular segments, we're going to talk about it on the radio, out in the ethers. So be there or be square because I'm bringing it.
Out in the ethers. All right, more to come after commercial break. We're super excited, so you're going to get more of Dana. And a huge thank you. It's kind of like full circle because you actually spoke to the radio station. They sent you here, and now we're going to be doing it together. Dawn DeMarco Book, host of Faith Stories. Let's find out who her guest is on the other side of this commercial break. We'll be right back.
Are you ready to stop playing small and step into your highest self? This isn't just a book club. It's a call to action. No fluff, no excuses, just growth. Actually, growth with some super cool people with a shared intention. Join us live at the Ubuntu Room on the Brooklyn Cafe Show Wednesdays at noon and become the greatest version of you. For more information, go to ubuntufishgallery.com. UBU fishgallery.com.
Imagine this. A loved one, a son or a daughter, has just suffered from a life-threatening accident. They're transported to a state trauma hospital, and despite being in the care of professional physicians, they tragically pass away due to preventable medical errors. As if this was not tragic enough, then finding out that legal statutes in the state of Florida devalue your loved one's life to zero. This is what we are fighting against. Come join Edward Salazar as he discusses the issues surrounding free kill laws and how to resolve them. Catch The Fight Against Free Kill Laws with Ed Salazar on Monday, 5 p.m. on all social media. Learn who we are and join our cause today.
RCCA has a team of specialized therapists to treat a wide array of injuries and conditions, including balance issues, back pain, fall prevention techniques, joint replacements, and stroke rehab. Our therapists at RCCA help adults reclaim their strength and flexibility, allowing them to return to their hobbies and sports. We tailor treatment to return our patients to activities they love, such as croquet, gym workouts, golf, pickleball, and tennis. Our state-of-the-art equipment and therapists ensure that there is something here for everyone.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
National Nurses Day, observed every year on May 6th, is a celebration that honors the dedication, skill, and compassion of nurses. It marks the beginning of National Nurses Week, which runs through May 12th and ends on the birthday of Florence Nightingale, the founder of modern nursing. It was established in the United States in 1982 to recognize the vital role nurses play in healthcare, including patient care, safety, and public health. It is commonly celebrated with appreciation events in hospitals, thank you messages from patients, and public recognition of nurses' hard work and contribution to communities.
Are going retro. Join us for Caps Off for a Cause at Crazy Uncle Mike's on May 12th at 5 p.m. Grab an instant photo for a $5 donation and take home a classic retro souvenir you can hold on to. Good vibes and memories that last. Come catch the magic for a good cause. See you there.
It's really good, right? I know.
So many cars, and then next door there's so many cars. That's good work. So they didn't crash into each other because everybody was rushing to come in here. They were saying they were parked on the trees. They were parked on the grass.
It was fantastic. Congratulations, 2 years.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. I was so pleased with the turnout because, well, I had 40 confirmed, but 24 showed up, which was probably a good number. I think 40 would have been a bit much.
I think the police may have been here if we had 40.
Yeah, we had
not for noise, for parking.
We had a contingency plan for 40.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah, we had about 20 shares up there.
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. Hello.
They would have had to climb the ladder to get up there.
Yeah. I'm good. I did that, right?
But it was great. It was a great party, a great turnout, really, really nice people to see friends that we haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah, it was wonderful. It was, and thank you so much. I wanted to say more about you guys, but it just kind of went whoop. It was so fast.
So fast.
incredibly fast. But thank you guys for, just supporting me in what I'm doing and, letting me have this platform to shine God's light.
Such a pleasure.
Well, it was nice to see a lot of friends. There was a lot of love in the room.
Yeah,
a lot of people care. A lot of people have stepped forward. And you've made it, a deal. You made a big deal about doing this thing where at first we didn't know where we were headed, and a lot of people.
I don't know where I was headed.
Well, a lot of people showed support. They were there. They came out with the numbers.
Well, and that's key. You want to know what you're doing is making a difference, and I believe that it is. And if one person comes to know their Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, that's it. Amen. Absolutely.
That helps. I mean, one at a time, right?
Yeah.
That's what it
And I
takes.
just plant seeds. God does the rest. It's not up to me, but it's up to me as a Christian to share who He is, and He wants a relationship with everybody. As someone said, we want heaven crowded. So.
Who was your guest today?
Today I have Candy Ratter, and I was reading her short bio and then her long bio, and the pivotal time was her dad and her grandfather. Her grandfather was a cotton farmer, and her dad was paid $1 a day. Couldn't make more than $1 a day picking cotton, and then. The grandfather went to get to the bank to pay his workers, and there was a run on money, so he couldn't pay him. So he went to selling moonshine. And then the dad was kind of caught up in it, but then there was like 100 gallons, or I don't know what the number was, but it was a lot of moonshine, and the cops were like close, and he said, "Lord, if you're there, please save me." And that's when his journey started with the Lord. And then she's been a Christian all her life.
So it'll be oh
my God, I know. It was like that is just such a story, It's
Does he
so
own
cool.
God Shine?
Huh?
Does he own God Shine? There's a moonshine called
Is
God
there?
Shine.
Oh man, I hear it's really. Did you guys have moonshine here before?
Yes.
Yeah.
Years
I had
ago.
Years ago. I moonshine in Puerto Rico.
I don't know if I tried it. I probably took a sip and was like, yeah, okay, no.
You
Can
would
you
have.
tell
You
me your
would have
family
known.
they used to bury it?
Yeah. They used to bury it
Right,
for
that's
5 or
what they
10 years.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you do. You bury it. And you put a little flag so you can find it.
Oh my God,
And then it
that's crazy.
ferments.
I just found it fascinating. I was like, wow, that's where we're going to start. And then we'll go into where she's at today and what she's doing. So
Amazing.
yeah.
Going on year 3 with lots of good stuff in the
Yeah.
pipeline.
Yeah. Year 3. Wow.
I know.
Whew.
Amazing.
Mercy.
I know. Remember when it was like day 3?
Right?
The third show.
True.
It's
Now you're
crazy.
going to 3 years.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Yeah. I'm blessed.
All right, tune in today, 3 o'clock to Faith Stories with Joan DeMarco book. And more to come. Get your book for book club. Again, next week, we're on Rec 7, but you got plenty of time to read 1 through 6. 10 Commandments of Personal Empowerment with Dana Sardano. And join us on Tuesday, Crazy Uncle Mike's, 5 o'clock, 5 to 7:30, to benefit the Amp Media Futures Foundation. Wendy's got this beautiful grid. Dana's donating fabulous baskets. She's emceeing the event. We've got some great gift cards from the community at large. 3 bands. We've got Creeper Jr., The Pleasures, and John Justice Parker. A whole lot of fun. So come on out, celebrate our crew, celebrate our graduates, and see what it means to collaborate and really be the best that our youth can be in media production.
Good stuff.
Good stuff. All right. Have a great afternoon, everyone. Stay safe, be kind to each other. We'll see you tomorrow, 9 a.m. drive time.
Don't be late.
Bye-bye.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show's over, the Brooklyn Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S. will bring you more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. We'll see you next time.